In Chapter 33 of the Yoga Vasistha, we will discuss the origin of Advaita philosophy, the basis of space, time, and action, Chitti, the various names of the Absolute Truth, Sankalp, the world, as the essence, and the way to destroy Sankalp.
Listen to me, O Rama, and really focus your mind here. Today, I'm guiding you straight to the ultimate reality. To truly grasp these ancient truths, we've got to look right past all the noisy illusions of our daily lives. We need to dig down and uncover the profound root of Advaita philosophy, which is the philosophy of absolute non-duality. We're going to strip away the incredibly complex layers of this universe to see what literally lies beneath the surface.
Let's look closely at verse 3 of this canto. It says, Drishyate twagriya buddhya sukshmaya sukshmadarshibhi. Now, the direct literal meaning here is absolutely crucial, Rama. It translates to, the ultimate reality is purely non-dual, indivisible, and beyond the perceived divisions of the material world. Think about that. It's telling us that what we constantly perceive as this fractured, multi-layered, separated universe is actually, at its absolute core, completely singular. There's absolutely no separation between the observer and the observed. None. There is only one continuous, unbroken reality. Now, this truth completely settles that age-old controversy between Dvaita, which is duality, and Advaita, non-duality. Let's look at the contrast. Dvaita, right? That deep-seated feeling that you are somehow separate from the world, that you are this independent doer performing actions, well, that is entirely the illusion of the living being. It's just a massive trick of the mind. On the flip side, Advaita represents the absolute inaction of the pure self. The pure self doesn't act, it doesn't change, and it definitely doesn't divide. All that duality you feel every single day, it's merely a projection. The underlying truth is always just the singular, inactive self. So you might be wondering, how exactly does this one singular self appear as such a complex, chaotic universe? Well, to understand that, we need to define a really vital concept, and that is Chitti. Chitti literally translates to pure consciousness. It is the fundamental, absolute basis of literally everything you know, space, time, action, the whole shebang. Before there was ever a where, a when, or a what, there was only Chitti. Anchor your understanding right here, Rama, because grasping Chitti is literally the key to unlocking the mechanics of this entire cosmic illusion. And that brings us perfectly to verse 14, Dik, Kalaja Anavachinan Ananta Chin Matra Murtiye. The literal translation here is mind-blowing. It states, space, time, and action do not exist independently. They are entirely generated by and dependent upon pure consciousness. Rama, this means time isn't just some ticking clock running in the background of the universe. And space? It's not some giant empty box waiting to be filled up with stars and planets. They are literally products of consciousness itself. Without Chitti, there is absolutely no space to move through, no time to experience, and no action to take. Picture this. Imagine a massive, endless, perfectly calm ocean. That ocean is the formless Chitti. Now, imagine a sudden gust of wind kicking up, causing all these waves to ripple and crash across the surface. Those waves, they represent space, time, and action. Sure, the waves look like separate, moving, independent things, but what are they really? They're nothing but the ocean water itself. In the exact same way, this entire universe, with all its swirling galaxies and thousands of passing centuries, is just a temporary wave forming on the infinite ocean of pure consciousness. Let's take a moment to reflect on verse 17. Ekam sad vipra bahuda vasanti. The literal English translation here is so simple, yet so deep. The absolute truth is one, though the wise call it by various names. This verse is just a beautiful, timeless reminder of the absolute unity behind all human searching. The ultimate reality is far too vast to ever be boxed in by just one single word or one specific tradition. So, the really crucial takeaway here is that humanity's diverse spiritual languages are all describing the exact same ultimate reality. Think about it. Whether the ancient sages call it Brahman, whether it is revered as Shiva, or whether we seek it deep within ourselves as the Atman, we are all pointing to the identical singular truth. Because of this, Rama, we must never get trapped in debating the names. A name is just a signpost on the road. Chitti is the actual destination. Now we have to understand how this supreme reality actually transforms into our everyday experience. It happens through the principle that will creates the world. To get this, we need to define another really essential Sanskrit term, sankalp. Sankalp means will, thought, or imagination. But listen, this isn't just casual daydreaming, Rama. Sankalp is the active, incredibly powerful, projective force of the mind that literally manifests the very world you're perceiving right now. It is the absolute engine of the cosmic illusion. Verses 32 through 34 make this incredibly clear. Manaso Drambhanam Vishwam. Listen closely to the direct meaning here. The material world, with all its solid forms and continuous events, is essentially nothing but thought. Yes, really. Everything you see around you, the ground you're standing on, everything you can touch, every single event that unfolds is quite literally a materialization of Sankalp. Think of it this way. If Chitti is the blank canvas, Sankalp is the paint. The world isn't a physical reality at all. It's a mental projection. To really wrap our heads around this highly abstract concept, the ancient texts offer us some incredibly vivid analogies. Think about a mirage out in a scorching desert. The thirsty traveler sees what looks like shimmering, refreshing water, right? But it's completely an illusion caused by heat and light. Or think about a reflection in a mirror. The reflection looks 100% real, yet it has absolutely zero substance of its own. Your mind's Sankalp works exactly like this. Through your own will and imagination, you project this massive, insanely detailed mirage called the universe, and you completely convince yourself that it's real. And that naturally leads us to the ultimate methodology for freedom. Verses 37 and 38 hand us the direct solution, Sankalpakshaye moksha. This translates to, by destroying the will, or Sankalp, the illusion of the world collapses, leading to ultimate liberation. It's simple logic, right? If the world is just a projection of your mind's will, then completely quieting that will is literally the only way to dismantle the illusion. You have to stop projecting the mirage. Okay, so how do we actually pull the plug and dismantle this projective power? Well, here is the actionable path for you, Rama. Step 1 is self-knowledge. You have to deeply, profoundly realize that you are Chitti, the pure, inactive observer, and not the ego running around acting in the world. Step 2 is detachment. You've got to withdraw your desires and aversions, simply because desire is the actual fuel that keeps Sankalp running. And finally, step 3, the dissolution of mind. By practicing extreme focus and meditation, the frantic, non-stop thought generation of the mind actually ceases. When you follow these steps, Sankalp starves and just fades away.
To bring all of this together, Canto 33 serves as your ultimate masterclass for spiritual salvation. We started with Advaita, realizing that reality is perfectly non-dual. We learned that the infinite, formless ocean is Chitti, pure consciousness. We saw exactly how the mind's Sankalp, its relentless will and thought, projects this entire illusion of a divided material world right onto that ocean. And finally, we learned that by passionately pursuing self-knowledge and detachment, we can actually destroy Sankalp, transcending the mind's illusion to finally rest in ultimate liberation.
So I'm going to leave you with one final thought, O Rama. And I really want you to reflect on this deeply as you continue your spiritual journey. Look at the world around you right now. Take in all its chaos, all its heavy solidity, all its never-ending demands. If absolutely everything you are experiencing right now is entirely your own will, what actually happens to the world when your will is completely, perfectly quieted?